Anti-Afro Svengalis. I was just doing a quick checkup. Has anybody seen Dumpsey D.Derell, Dempsey Spears around? I figured something was going on because this is his MO. He makes all these grand financial promises and then he disappears. Now, what I've noticed over the last 2 months or so, Dumpsey has come around and he's getting more and more fanatic about other people's financial situations. He makes up more and more lies about people's financial status, about their jobs. And now he's up to increasing Reb G's job loss to 5 jobs, although it was one job nearly 6 years ago, not related to a university, not related to anybody reporting him to YouTube. It was related to him not reporting threats soon enough. It went from one job nearly 6 years ago, now it was up to 5 jobs. He's telling all of these lies about people's situation, which leads me to believe he must be in dire straits. And Dumpsey is lying. The tax lien is not paid off. So here he comes running up here, making all these grand promises about what he's going to be paying money in the other sectors. We find out he's only able to muster up $50 occasionally and think $200 one time, and it caused problems at home. What is happening with Dumpsey? He seems to be in panic mode, more and more frenzied about other people's financial situation. And someone told me that he said he was going to call the feds on me. Call the feds on me? Call the feds on yourself and turn yourself in. You're a thief, Dumpsey D.Derell. And by the way, he said he was going to call the feds on me for information about his wife. His wife, the convicted child abuser, had state charges, as far as we know. But what I wanted to talk to you about, I wanted to make sure you all were clear. I think the waters were muddied. You all don't realize when Dumpsey got nabbed by the state board, Texas Behavioral Health Council, they're the ones that regulate the professional license. You have to recognize something that tells you Dumpsey is a full-blown thief. Look here. 2015 is when he first was busted. Well, he wasn't busted in 2015. That's when the behavior went down. That's documented. The first set of behaviors. Here he billed in 2015 for a bunch of services that he never provided. He lied. Be very specific in listening to what I say. This is one incident, 2015, and this complaint was not filed until when? The decision or the agreement was signed in March 2021. Obviously, the complaint went in before that. It typically takes somewhere around a year to really get things going unless you settle. So very clearly, it was not filed in 2021. It wouldn't be resolved in 3 months. So 2020 or before, they got wind. They learned that in 2015, he had billed for services that he didn't provide. Busted. 8,000 plus. Now, when he was doing this, what do you think he was doing in 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, and in 2020 until they busted him? What do you think he was doing all that time before he knew or was notified that they were onto him? Do you think he was being honest in everything else he did? Hell no, because we have proof that he wasn't honest. Because they also found between 2017 and 2018, he stole someone else's National Provider ID number. That's one of the numbers you need in order to submit billing. So I'm right. He was doing other fraudulent activities before he even knew they were onto him. But do you really think these were the only two fraudulent activities he was doing? This is just one set of fraudulent activities. Medicaid. What about insurance companies? What about the county? What about all those other agencies he says he has clients with? You mean to tell me he was honest with all those other agencies and he only ripped off the government? Hell no. We know what he was doing with this money. He was paying Umar Johnson. We know that. He was tricking, getting women attention with this money. He was putting money in all around these YouTube streets because he brags all the time that I used to be in that sector. Yeah, I used to get this money. $4.99, $3.99. That's the money he was giving, but now he's down to $50. Down to $50. Squeezed out $200. And like I said a second ago, it caused a big problem. If he wants to run around here reviving these lies and giving new lies, just saying anything he can, making sure he rags on people and makes these claims about their financial situation. Why do you think he lied on Kip? He lied on Kip because he's having problems with money. When he lies on other people about money, he's having problems. Who would just think of money all of a sudden for no reason? What is the reason he brought up money to begin with us? Even before Rev G and that donation situation, he was saying Rev G was broke. He's been saying I'm broke. I have one client. I have one contractor. I have one insurance. I have no money. I'm dead, burnt, busted, dusty, broke. He always would say that. That reflects his obsession with money. While he was saying this, he was ripping off the government. So whenever you hear about Dumpsey giving money, best believe he was stealing the money to give to other people. He was not the kind of subject working in an office diligently focused on helping clients. That takes a lot of work. You got to be on the phone. You got to be meeting. You got to be collaborating. You got to be doing so many things to focus on helping people. What was he doing on the freaking internet? Living on the internet. Now we know he was simply submitting the billing and lying. You can sit here and believe he was honest with all these other people and he only ripped off Medicaid. Bullshit. I bet you $1,000,000 he has been ripping off a whole lot of agencies. And now he comes up with a measly $100 offer. $100? Are you serious? That is it? $100 when he's been paying $3.99 and $4.99. He doesn't have any money. I'm telling you, he got clean, cold, busted, and he ran out of resources to steal from. So what does he want to do? Start bashing on everybody else and lying about their financial status. He's the one with the tax lien that's not paid off. He's the one with the house underwater. He's the one with the dollar store that closed within 2 years. What's the reason the dollar store is closing within 2 years and he's running around here saying, I can give you all this advice about business? When Dumpsey is attacking other people about money, you better believe he's the one with the financial problems. He can't even afford. He's too broke to beef. He can't afford it. It's got to be humiliating because he used to pride himself and be able to give $4.99, $3.99. It was stolen money. The only way he can pull it off is if he has a resource to steal money from. And that gravy train appears to have come to a halt. He's not paying his tax liens off. Why isn't he paying the taxes for the dollar store? And they closed him down. This dude is a fraud and has a nerve coming on the internet talking about anybody's financial situation. How the hell would he know? I'm not close to no Dumpsey. He don't know shit about what's happening in my bank account. As far as him knowing what's going on with Gerald's financial situation. We don't tell him anything. He's talking about himself. And like Kip would really tell him his personal business. His house is not foreclosed. You would have seen it. You all went looking for it. Dumpsey is the one whose house is underwater. Dumpsey is the one. Yes, Dumpsey D.Derell, Dempsey Spears, $130,000 tax lien. It is not paid off. He can't afford the 2-bedroom apartment. The wife had to move back in. She's in a different room. And he starts talking about Gerald. Your wife ain't giving you none. That's because he's not getting any. Not only because he has the floppy junk problem, because the wife don't want nothing to do with him. If she wanted to be with him, she'd go and be in the same bedroom. He always reflects back to others what's happening in his own life. And financial situation and money is at the top of the list. He is the one that has the problems. And it came crashing down. He's hiding out now. Where's he hiding? He came out with all this flashbang, a measly $100. That is pathetic. He doesn't have the money. And I know he's pissed because he's paying for dead information. Here's the bottom line. He doesn't have the money. That's all there is to it. Well, I should hold that thought. That's all there is to it as far as this specific narrow topic. But I can assure you, much, much more is coming. The AFW, we have the information. We have the bombshells. We're the ones who distribute the information. There are others who have insight, but not very many. Not the ones running around here acting like they know it all. They don't. They got the information from us. In most instances, 98% of the time. So don't listen to these freaks acting like they got all this information. Yeah, shit. Because we didn't even give you the juicy shit. And I'm telling you, I got some shit coming down the pipe. I'm not even talking about DJ Jackass, Antonio Johnson. There are others in these YouTube streets who are non-AFW who've got the 411 as well. I won't call out their names. It's not the ones running around bragging about what they can do to AFW. They can't do shit because we designed it that way. We set it up that way. We're not going to give... You think we're going to give away our most vital, crucial information to anyone who has a history of backstabbing? No, absolutely not. We keep our information close to us and we give it to those who can be trusted. And we have not lost as far as the type of sensitivity with the information. You think you're doing something, you're not. We have the bombshell that we're going to be dropping. And it's not TJ Jackass. You'll just have to wait and see. And I can tell you, it's a humdinger. You just hang on. Listen, folks, you know I got more coming your way. In the meantime, you know the drill. Buyer beware.